That's right, Jimmy. We do have just a few safety rules to go over, and I'm going to share them with you now. First, if you need guest assistance with medical emergency, drop something of value over the side of the tram, or have any sound or video issues, reach up and grab that red emergency cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram, and I'll be back to assist you just as soon as it is safe to do so. Otherwise, please remain seated at all times with your arms and legs inside the vehicle. No smoking and no selfie sticks are allowed on board the tram today, and be prepared. Our tour features many loud noises, sudden movements, fire effects, and water effects. You're going to want to have those cameras out for some great photo opportunities, but do keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. And with that, folks, we are going to catch our last view of the theme park, but on your right-hand side, you'll be able to see the newest attraction joining us at Universal Studios Hollywood. It's Super Nintendo World, opening for us on February 17, 2023. Come back and visit us so you too can ride through. And now, we're officially leaving that theme park behind and headed into the heart of Hollywood's oldest movie studio. That's right, we're the oldest by 2 whole weeks. Don't let any of our neighbors forget it. Right now, we are traveling through what we call our Universal Timeline. These posters on either side of the tram, as well as the titles rolling across your screens, represent just a few of the over 8,000 movies that have been made here in our 107-year history. On your right-hand side is our fire station. Those are real fire trucks here. The firefighters at Fire Station 51 keep us safe here at Universal City 365 days a year. Now, I did just say Universal City. That's because we are, in fact, an entire city here at Universal. We have our own zip code, our own emergency services, and at one time, we even had our own mayor and our own DMV. The biggest difference between our city and your city is that nobody actually lives here. Instead of finding houses, condos, and apartment buildings, out here on our lot, you'll find 36 sound stages and acres of backlot where we can create just about anything you can imagine. On your left-hand side is the largest and oldest of our standing sound stages. That's Soundstage 12, originally constructed in 1929 for the musical Broadway. At 29,000 square feet, it's been home to some of the largest sets in Hollywood history, including Frankenstein's Lab, Dracula's Lair, Scarface's Mansion, and the Visitor Center for Jurassic Park.
It was funny. She said like this would be a planet.
All right, we are now entering the front lot. We're passing by some sound stages right now, and with it looks like open doors. If you want to peek inside on your left-hand side to see what we have going on inside sound stages 11, 10, and 9.
Is it filming?
We get a great view
Is it a filming place?
of the crew loading in more equipment for yet another shoot.
It is a filming place.
We are constantly working here in the studio, turning over production after production in these sound stages. Right now, Soundstage 7 is the soundstage that we are passing, and it's currently housing part of the set for the Peacock series Bel Air, starring Jabari Banks. It's filming out here right now. And as we round this bend, we're going to see the other soundstage being used for Bel Air. It's Soundstage 14, as well as Bel Air's Base Camp. Base Camp is where you keep everything you need for a film shoot that doesn't fit on the soundstage. So all these trailers here, you can read the signs on the trailers and see what's going on. There's a trailer for wardrobe where there are costumes. There's trailers for the crew, like the artistic directors and more. There's trailers for the actors, trailers for makeup, extra lighting and sound equipment. Everything you need for a shoot that doesn't fit on the soundstage.
It is a filming base.
Here in the
Star Wars. I saw Star Wars.
And behind the base camp there, that large white building, that one's a parking structure. We use it to park cars. Now, NBC's television history goes back over 80 years to the very first televised broadcast at the opening of the New York World's Fair in 1939. Since then, we've been part of some of the biggest and longest running television shows in history. In fact, the area we're passing through right now is known as Sitcom Alley because it's where some of Hollywood's longest running sitcoms filmed, including Different Strokes, The Facts of Life, One Day at a Time, and Silver Spoons. And excellent television continues to be made out here to this day. These sound stages were used to film shows like The Good Place and Good Girls, Parenthood, Mindy Kaling's Netflix series Never Have I Ever. The soundstage we're passing right now was was recently used to film scenes from the new Quantum Leap series, and before that, it was home to Mr. Mayor starring Ted Danson. Today on the lot, you won't see Ted Danson, but turn to the left as we pass on by and you will see Ted drinking.
이건 뭐야?
Ted's doing more than drinking on the lot these days. In fact, the new Ted TV series filmed out here just months ago, actually weeks ago, and that'll be coming to you soon. Now, between the 1920s and the 1960s, Universal Studios had what were called contract players. That means actors who worked exclusively for us, making movies here on the lot. Some actors we had under contract include Tony Curtis, Jimmy Stewart, Rock Hudson, and Doris Day. They used bungalows as dressing rooms, just like furnished apartments. They're the buildings that are now on your left-hand side. Although they're no longer dressing rooms, now they're production offices for studios here in Hollywood. Over there you can see Mark Platt Productions with Big Wicked Balloon. He's responsible for movies like Dear Evan Hansen and Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and soon Wicked, the movie, in 2023. We've also got the De Laurentiis Company, Dwayne Johnson, Seven Bucks Productions, Elizabeth Banks' Brownstone Productions, just to name a few. These buildings here on your left might look a little different than the other sound stages, but they are in fact two of our newer sound stages. These sound stages look a little different because we're constantly trying to make the filmmaking process more efficient. So we've actually built production offices and dressing rooms right onto the front of these sound stages to alleviate the need for large base camps. All right, as we rounded that bend there, we officially are leaving the front lot behind and we are entering the back lot. You'll notice the scenery starts to change quite a bit as we enter this portion of our lot, because this is where we film our exteriors on a pretty grand scale. I know it doesn't feel like we're moving very quickly in these trams, but in the time it took us to get down the front lot, folks, we've made it all the way to New York.
What is this?
This area here is known as Brownstone Street. It's made to look like the brownstone homes that you find in New York City. This is where Jim Carrey lived in Bruce Almighty. It's where Kevin McAllister threw snowballs at his aunt and uncle in Home Alone 2. It's where Annie met Sandy, and just over there is what we call Newsies Square, where all those newsies sang about being the king of New York. We have all sorts of cities out here on our metro sets. We just passed our Brownstone Street, and right now we're in a quaint little town. It was Rutherford Falls in the series Rutherford Falls. It was a small town in Keenen, and of course, you might be recognizing it as Hill Valley from Back to the Future. If you look inside those big doors at the City Hall, you can see the original pillars of the clock tower are just inside. This area became so recognizable as Hill Valley that we actually had to put another fake front on top of that City Hall over there, because audiences kept wondering why we were in Hill Valley when we weren't in Back to the Future. So shh, don't tell. We're hiding it. In fact, most of these buildings have false fronts or are entirely just false fronts, or what we call facades. All you need is the front or side of a building when you're out here filming an exterior set, because any interiors you need to film, you do on a soundstage. All right, so we've seen brownstone homes. We've seen a small town of Hill Valley. And as we round this next bend, we're gonna be smack dab in the middle of the big city. Welcome to the Big Apple, everybody. And now that we're here, our friend Jimmy has some words he'd like to share with you.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. I once got mugged over there. That old woman, tough lady. Who's my favorite hot dog guy? Hey, buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here. Hey, it's cool, guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
That's right, Jimmy, and many filmmakers choose to do just that. You can see our metro sets as New York in shows like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and How I Met Your Mother, movies like Captain America: First Avenger. It was Chicago in The Blues Brothers, London in Austin Powers, and even Los Angeles itself every year when American Ninja Warrior comes to film their LA semi-quarterfinal obstacle course. Now, I showed you the concrete jungle, but folks, we're about to head into a CGI jungle. Here to tell you more about our next destination is director Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong.
King Kong. 어디 King Kong.
오, 킹콩.
Saw that on TV about 8.
Hey, my whole family is from Pittsburgh. Let's go Steelers.
와우, 킹콩.
Okay, guys, we're entering the jungle. King Kong.
Thrilled with the last invited event. Great. I've created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet. Just hold them in your hand because we're about to return to the sky.
All right, everybody, stay seated and hang on tight. Things are about to get a little bumpy on our adventure to Skull Island.
Welcome to Skull Island. Welcome to Skull Island.
That was King Kong 360 3D.
Did you guys ready? Yeah.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
When I told you about the water effects on this tour, I bet you didn't expect T-Rex slobber, huh? I'm so sorry, folks. I should have told you you're only ever going to get wet on this tour if you happen to choose a blue seat. Made you look. All right, now that epic battle that we just saw was projected on some of the world's largest digital 3D screens, standing over 40 feet tall and 180 feet long, and utilizing some of the most advanced technology available in filmmaking today. It was designed by Peter Jackson and the creative team at Atlanta FX, who have won numerous Academy Awards and worked on movies like King Kong, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Avatar, and even television shows like She-Hulk.
With a Project Studio Tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions. There's creatures coming at them. They're seeing colors from this side and T-Rexes from the other side. If you're on a movie, we always know what's happening. It's the camera to make a shot that will go from people looking in all directions. Also, one of the things about this, a lot of the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts. Because it's one giant shot, and this tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away.
We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a ride.
I thought I would never go to Hollywood.
Now, During King Kong, we saw a tram car appeared on screen. The second it was on screen, it became a picture car. A picture car is any vehicle that appears on screen, whether it's in the background helping to create the environment or it's featured more prominently in the film. Here on your left-hand side are some of our favorite Universal picture cars.
Back to the Future.
As you can see, there is no limit to what a picture car can be, whether it's a vehicle that you've seen driven on the road or something straight out of someone's
The
imagination.
Flintstones.
If you can drive it, fly it, or it can be here as a picture car.
Gyrosphere.
Now that gyrosphere from Jurassic World might look like it's missing the glass, but folks, there was never any glass on the gyrosphere to begin with. Because of the glare from the lights, the reflection of the camera, we decided instead to add in the glass in post-production using computer-generated imagery or CGI. Now, of course, the team at Jurassic World knew just what to do with that CGI because the Jurassic Park dinosaurs are the original innovators of the technology. Without further ado, folks, it is my immense pleasure. That's right, dinos are in our DNA here at Universal Studios, and right now we are driving through sets, props, and yes, picture cars from the original Jurassic Park trilogy. The boat on your right survived a Spinosaurus attack in the original film. The mobile lab here on your left was seen dangling off the side of a cliff in the Lost World Jurassic Park, and in these cages we have...
It's a truck thing from the second.
Okay. Not to worry, folks. Just do me a favor and holler if you see a dinosaur.
Not my neck. Or hit me. Or hit me.
All right, one more dinosaur who wants to say hello to you on our left. That's our Spinosaurus, Barbara. Everybody wave. Say hi, Barbara. Now, folks, Barbara's not going to wave back, but she has good reason. She's fake. In fact, Barbara's made out of the same materials as the buildings we saw on our Metro sets. It's all some combination of foam, rubber, and fiberglass. Hey, Mercury. Now, in Jurassic Park, weather plays a large role in the films. Anytime it rains, you're bound to see a dinosaur. Here in Southern California, we don't get a whole lot of rain, so we made it for the movies. We have to make it ourselves. Mark is doing a big favor for us right now, pulling into our old Mexico sets, where we're going to give you a live Hollywood weather effects demonstration. Here comes the storm. We've got lightning coming from flash boxes, thunder coming from speakers, and in just a moment we're going to get some rain, and that's actually coming from sprinklers that are way high up on the roofs of the buildings and up in the trees.
See the sprinkler?
Yeah, I see it. That's how you get. That's how you film it. That's how you do it.
Above the well.
That's how you do it. Put rain
Yeah.
instead of waiting for it to rain.
Now the thunder that's out here on the tram is here just for us. If we were filming out here today, you wouldn't hear much of anything at all. Only about 15% of what you hear in any movie was recorded at the time of filming. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. Folks, take cover. We've got a flash flood heading straight for our tram. Now, that flash flood was actually the result of thousands of gallons of recycled water being pumped out of tanks at the top of that hill there. Here it is, featured on your screen in the movie Big Fat Liar, starring Frankie Muniz, Paul Giamatti, and Amanda Bynes. We are leaving Old Mexico behind and heading into the oldest standing sets here on the back lot. This is our last standing Western set from the silent era of films. This set has been here since the 19-teens, but it's been used even to this day in filming. You might recognize this location as Quentin Tarantino's 9th movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. While we're here, I want to let you know we're about halfway through our tour at this point. So once again, if you drop something of value, have an emergency, just can't wait for the bathroom, pull the cord and stay seated. Now, Pay special attention to the doors in this area. Do you see any that look a little extra small? Or maybe some that look a little extra large? Yeah, why might we do that? Well, if you have a little cowboy who needs to look big and tough, you stick him in a little doorway, and he looks a lot bigger and tougher than he is in real life. And if you have a damsel in distress who doesn't look like she needs to be saved, you stick her in a big doorway, and she looks just a little more vulnerable. It's all about illusions here in Hollywood, and this little body of water we're about to see on your left-hand side is no different. It's a cute little pond. It's a great place to come and have lunch if you're working out here on the lot, but it's also where we filmed Showboat and the 1954 3D creature classic, The Creature from the Black Lagoon. Don't let its size fool you though, folks. In the 1960s, this little body of water was also seen as the entire Pacific Ocean in the 1960 series McHale's Navy. Once again, you just need teeny tiny boats, and then the water looks really, really big. The hardest part about filming those scenes is making sure the ducks stay away from filming because they ruin the illusion every single time. Now folks, the sign on your right that says welcome to the good place is not lying to you. In just a moment, we're going to round the bend into the good place.
Afterlife. I've never ever seen this. You're in the good.
I'm not supposed to be here. Can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad. What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
We call it Little Europe out here on the lot. It's much more than just the good place. It was also Genovia, Princess Diaries 2, A Royal Engagement. It's where the 1997 version of Cinderella was filmed, starring Brandy, Whitney Houston, Whoopi Goldberg, and Bernadette Peters. But this is also where audiences were first introduced to all of their favorite Universal movie monsters. This is where you first met Dracula, the Mummy, the Wolfman, Frankenstein's monster. In fact, this week we're celebrating the 90th anniversary of the original Mummy movie starring Boris Karloff. It premiered on December 22nd, 1932.
Maybe there's only take the monsters.
Dracula, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein,
The Mummy.
Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Invisible Man, Phantom of the Opera. Classic films. They're just brilliantly made. That Frankenstein image, flathead, it's one of the great icons of the world. That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film. I was just mesmerized by these movies. Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney.
I remember the original Universal Studios Mummy movie really scaring me.
They still ring in our memories now, and we love them.
Now, so far on our tour, I've showed you the outside of sound stages, and I've showed you some of our exterior sets. But in just a moment, we're going to go inside of a working soundstage. Now, a soundstage with no set inside of it looks like a big empty warehouse. It's a giant blank canvas where we can build just about anything you need for your film shoot, including some things that you might double up in your exterior sets. For example, the clock tower in Back to the Future. It really was out in Hill Valley where we were, but there was another version of it built inside a soundstage to help keep Christopher Lloyd safe when he was doing some of those stunts up there on top of the soundstage. So when we enter this next soundstage, we're going to see it. It's dressed to look like it's ready to go for a set. The set that we are seeing in here has been featured in movies like Beverly Hills Cop 3 and TV shows like Bones, starring Emily Deschanel and David Boreanaz. This is a great example of what you can show an audience without an actor ever being on set. We can very clearly tell that this is made to look like a subway station. We can even tell where we are in the world. If you look at those maps on the walls, they say East Bay, the Golden Gate Park. That sign over there says, "Welcome to San Francisco." We can also tell that this would be a period piece, meaning it takes place sometime in the past. Look at those banks of payphones on either side of the trail. What? All right, folks, these effects are happening live. Welcome to Earthquake for Midlife. Here's an example of what those can look like when put together on film. This is a scene that filmed inside Soundstage 50. It's from Bones. But I'm still a little shaken up after that quake. So Mark and I have decided we're going to take a break and go to the beach, all right? Now don't worry, I know the sign said the beach was closed. We had a small shark problem, all right? But not to worry, we caught the shark. There he is, next to the side of our tram. For now, we're just going to stay seated while my buddy Officer George makes sure it's safe before we get back in the water. Uh-oh. There's another shark out there in the water. Wait, George isn't still out there, is he? No, George! Get out of the water! Looks like George is a little too curious for his own good. Not to worry, folks. Mark's going to keep us safe. We're going to move forward and hide behind these very flammable barrels of gasoline.
예전에 여기 걸었었는데, 그치? 여기 저 인사이드 들어가가지고 이렇게 안 보고. Your breath after that shark attack, and then I have a very important question for you, all right? Shout it if you know the answer. What kind of shark is that out there in the water? Hey, great white, that's a great guess, but that's right, I got the right answer in the front car. It's a plastic shark out there. Welcome to Hollywood, everybody. It's all pretend. In fact, you can watch our plastic shark doing the backstroke right now, getting ready to perform for the very next tram. Our plastic shark performs beautifully, consistently, hundreds of times a day. Oh, there is a plastic shark in Universal history, though, that did not perform as well or nearly as consistently, and that's Bruce, the mechanical shark from Jaws.
Not so much from the lion shark. The shark was frustrated. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio voice. They were always saying, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited. The shark was well enough for wild animals. So I really always felt alive.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg does owe the shark a lot, but he also owes Oscar award-winning composer John Williams and, of course, Oscar award-winning editor Verna Fields for what turned out to be the very first blockbuster movie, Jaws. This house on the hill here is one of the few examples of a practical set out here on the lot, meaning you can film inside and outside. It's hanging out next to this facade from About a Boy, which you can see is just the side of a house. Our Chicken Ranch, the practical set, has been seen in Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses, Beethoven's Third, and it's where LMFAO spent a raucous night of party rockin'. This neighborhood we're passing by is known as Colonial Street. You might recognize it from shows like Mindy Kaling's Never Have I Ever, Superstore. It was Wisteria Lane in ABC's Desperate Housewives. It was the neighborhood in Casper the Friendly Ghost, and more. All right, folks, I'm going to give you my 12-minute spiel now. We're about 12 minutes from the end of the tour, so one last time, if you drop something of value, have an emergency, or just can't wait to use the restroom, pull the cord and stay seated. All right, now I know this doesn't look like much going on either side of the tram here, just like trees and leaves and things, but that's the point. This is a filming location known as Wilderness Road. You can film a scene that takes place in the woods or somewhere else rural right here on the lot without having to take your cast and crew camping. This is also a great spot to film controlled crashes of picture cars. There's not a lot going on, so it's a very safe location. Hey, speaking of picture cars, folks, we've got another bank of picture cars just around the bend here for you to check out. And this one features a few more of those Fast and Furious vehicles.
I think that's the bank.
From Fast and Furious, we've got the orange Julius, the Dodge Charger, just to name a few. The yellow Camaro in the back there is Bumblebee from Transformers. The piano truck is from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? And the police car is from Public Enemies. Speaking of Public Enemies, we've got a few of those on the lot. In fact, we have a few who might even be a little bit psycho. Welcome everybody to the Bates Motel. And up on the hill we have the original Psycho house, where legend has it you can still see Mother rocking in her chair. Uh-oh. Did you know Norman was going to be here? I didn't think he was going to be home. Okay folks, not to worry, just don't make eye contact with Norman Bates, okay? We've been spotted. Okay. Hey, Norman. No, Norman, not today, man. I already lost car 5 to the dinosaurs. You're gonna get me written up. You leave this tram alone. Not car 4, Norman. Not car 4. Car 4. Car 4, are you still with me? Okay. All right. Looks like we passed through unscathed. Phew. That guy just never knows when to quit.
Thank you.
What's that? What is this house? Pet cemetery?
All right, now from a horror movie right into the middle of a not-so-natural disaster. Welcome to one of the largest sets still standing in Hollywood. This is the crash site from Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. This is a real 747 that was purchased and destroyed for the making of this movie. Here to tell you a little bit more about it is production designer Rick Carter and director Steven Spielberg.
The airplane crash is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around the vision of Steven.
When you first began to sit down to talk about the War of the Worlds, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. Listen, man, listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? They're closed?
Oh, guys, did it help you sleep there?
Bobby, get in.
That'd be kind of
Get in.
Now, since being used in War of the Worlds, you've seen this plane crash in a few homeowners insurance commercials. It was also used for a photo shoot for America's Next Top Model, and it's where Nicki Minaj's music video Fly featuring Rihanna was filmed. Now, War of the Worlds was released in 2005, and it used over 500 special effects. That's more than Steven Spielberg had ever used before. But even so, the real 747 is the reason that movie still looks good to this day. Now folks, Universal is so excited to be partnering with Academy Award winner Jordan Peele. We are about to take you through the sets of his newest sci-fi thriller, Nope, starring Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, and Stephen Yeun.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible mission and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Juke Park. Over there, look into the Winky Web and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Glad. A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. Anyway,
Mark, we better take that advice and get out of here before it's too late for us.
Did you watch this?
Now on today's tour, Mark and I have showed you where we make the movies. I've ruined a few secrets about how we get that filming done. But I say it's about high time we put you smack dab in the middle of one of the most successful franchises in Universal history. Folks, we're about to become part of the Fast and Furious franchise. Now, here's the scoop. Somebody on board this tram has witnessed a crime. The international criminal syndicate led by Owen Shaw is after us. Not to worry though, folks. Hobbs said that if we hung out here in Sullivan's garage, somebody from Dom Toretto's crew would be able to help us out. So for now, let's just stay seated, hang on tight, and see if we can find any help here in Sullivan's garage.
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. Buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you with Shaw for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot. We're having a few friends over. It's a little messy. It's all good. The more the merrier. Especially you right there in that third row. You know what I'm saying? So look, see over there? It's Hobbs' urban assault vehicle. Best truck the U.S. government can buy. That work of art back over there is made by my man Tej. Think of it as like a Mona Lisa on wheels.
So did you break it down to them?
What's that?
You had one job to do, Roman, one. All right, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here, so put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay and we'll meet you in there.
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move. Bill? That's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not...
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. I got you. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Cop, I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety? I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours.
Hobbs, escort this novice out.
Let's go, Cookie Puss.
You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone, bro?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of...
See what I'm talking about?
Call you back. It was on vibrate. Shaw traced us. Hobbs can't hold him forever. Letty, Roman, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle. It's about to get real interesting. My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door.
Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
Alright, everybody, it's time to get those glasses out and on tight. Things are about to get a little fast and furious.
Protected the lights and you can resume breathing.
I look, I'm in the middle. I got wet looped. I'm in the middle, so I got wet looped.
So yeah, we got through it. Knock y'all's down. Appreciate it. They say the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys get good at it. And you're welcome to join our crew anytime.
We can join the crew anytime. Thanks, guys. Way to make us feel like family. Although right about now, it's time for us to get these folks back to our theme park. Now, we know your day here at Universal Studios Hollywood doesn't end with Mark and I here on the tram. So if you haven't already done so, go ahead and download the Universal Studios Hollywood app for your latest wait times, show times, and park hours. And to see that your first chance today to see Waterworld Live Sea War Spectacular is coming up at 11:45 a.m. Well, folks, that's just about the end of our tour. In a moment, we'll be approaching the unload station. Please stay seated until the tram is parked and the gates are open. Take a moment to make sure you have all the personal belongings that you started the tour with. Don't leave those behind on the tram. And please return those 3D glasses to the blue bins provided once you exit. One last time, on behalf of myself, Savannah, your tour guide, we're going to hang out here for a second. And Mark, your driver, and everybody here at NBC Universal, thank you so much for joining us here at